While on vacation to the East Coast, I went fabric shopping in New York City. Keep watching to see the stores I went to and what I bought during my New York City fabric haul. It's a rainy afternoon in New York City, and our first stop is Hyman Hendler and Sons. This store is famous for trims, and it was recommended to me by Jen. She used to go here when she was a fashion designer. It appears that Hyman Hendler is no more, and in its place is East Coast Trimming. They have button zippers and passementerie, which I believe is still trims, so we're going to head inside and see what we can find. So I'm in this store. This is East Coast Trimming, purveyors of fine trims, and you can see behind me that there are a whole lot of trims down these aisles, and they also have buttons and some other cool stuff. So I'm just going to walk around, we're going to check it out and see how things look. I don't have any particular need for trims, but these are just so absolutely gorgeous. I have to show y'all these. They're just incredible, and they're kind of categorized by color. These blue ones are the ones that I'm really intrigued by. Just imagine all the incredible things you could do with these. Oh, here are the purple ones. Oh, look how pretty those are. They have these fantastic displays of buttons and tubes, which are almost as good as buttons and jars, but you can just see how gorgeous they are. Like, they have all the samples on the top, so you don't have to open every tube to see what's inside. But ooh, these are pretty. These abalone ones, wonder how much those are. Ooh, I don't know. I don't know what those numbers mean, but those are gorgeous. You know me, I love some buttons. Okay, so these look like they're beaded trims, so you can see how incredible these are. And you can see my reflection. I can't do anything about all the glass, but I'm trying to film as best as I can to share this with y'all because it's quite amazing. Just gonna stand out of the way. There we go. There's some more down here. Absolutely exquisite. And then right next to them are some really beautiful, super fancy buttons. There's pretty much everything you could ever want here. And this is just the first store that we've come into. These are kind of some cool, like, textured trims. They're like, this is like a boucle trim, which is really pretty. They're all kind of fuzzy and textured, so they're fun to touch. I'm not sure what you'd use these for. Maybe like trims on jackets and stuff to make them fancy. So these are cabinets of grosgrain ribbon, which are just exquisite. And I was just talking to the owner, Donna, and she was saying that they ship all over, and that is very cool because I don't know what I would do with a lot of this stuff, but I might find a use for it one day. And then they've got these fantastic bug pens, and I do really like bugs, so I might have to get one of these to come home with me to live on a jacket that I'm going to make soon. We'll see. Okay, I know we keep saying this, but these trims are incredible. These would just be fantastic for costumes. I don't know what kind of costumes or anything. Elegant dresses. Look at these golds. Oh, those would be so gorgeous when I was making the Greek gods costumes a few years ago. Look at all of those. Oh, so beautiful. So Dan was going through and found this. Can you hold it up so we can see it a little bit better? Thank you, babe. And that's like a trim. What is that? Do we know what that is? That's really cool. Look at it up close. It's really pretty. How much is that?
$175.
Oh, it's a bargain at $175. That is beautiful. I can imagine that on like the front of a dress. It's beautiful. Okay, you'll have to see these bedazzled trims and pearls, and there's more pearls over here, and it's really sparkly at this end of the store. So I'm going to back up to this case so y'all can see it a little bit better, because it's really quite spectacular here. And I wish y'all were here with me, because it's quite the experience. Look at these. Oh, so gorgeous. How beautiful those are. You can do amazing evening wear with these trims. We've got some jewelry too. Oh, look at these. It's just incredible. It's like being in a candy shop, and it's got all these sparkly, beautiful baubles to just keep looking at. We've walked down the street to Mood, and apparently we can't go in from the ground floor, so we're going to go upstairs. We just stepped out of the elevators, and you're immediately greeted by these very cool fashion illustrations, these giant croquis. Y'all, we are at Mood. We just walked in. You can see the buttons and notions and all of that behind me. Upstairs is a bunch of fabric. There's some fabric down here, so it's all kinds of good stuff going on. I can't wait to walk around and see what they have to buy. So we're here in the wool at Mood. This is wool coating material. Let me see if you can see the sign. There we go. Wool coating. And I am looking at some of these beautiful purple fabrics that are up here. This one in particular right there, to make my cape coat with. It's a nice lightweight wool made in Italy, so it's really pretty and bright, and it's only $30 a yard, so I need a few yards of it, so we'll break the bank. This is all the wool coating fabric. So you can see they've got a really good selection of purples and pinks, and then it goes down into reds and yellows, the warmer colors, and then the darker colors down at the other end. This is another purple one I was looking at. This one is $35 a yard though. So it's a little bit pricier than the other one, and I like the other one too, so we're gonna go with the brighter one, but they're all in here, big stacks. It's a lot to choose from. So it's taking me some time, and we'll slowly go around the store so I can show you all the cool stuff that's here. So I was walking by the printed wool. This is all the printed wool over here, and I spotted this one, and I'm kind of loving it a little bit. I think this would be really special for the cape coat. I think this would look really, really awesome. It is $40 a yard, so price-wise, I kind of need to think about it a little bit, but it's just so pretty. And it's wool, it's made in Italy. Looks like a winner to me, so super excited. These are some of the linen fabrics that they have. They have some absolutely gorgeous prints. They are all different weights. The colors are just incredible, and you can see that this is a really lightweight one. I love this one with these flamingos because it's just kind of really funny and fun for summer. This would be so tropical. This would look great in like West Palm Beach and like a sarong style sundress. And this one too, very jungle fabric-y. More fruit. I did pick up some of this to make a skirt, so y'all will be seeing that in the next part of the video.
Oh my God, look at these. Oh my
These are all the printed jerseys, but then you can come over here and actually touch things. So these are some beautiful jerseys too. Feel how soft they are. They're like really soft, like pajama. This is Holly, and she's super fired up about all these foils, which are just gorgeous.
Carden made in Italy.
Well, no wonder they're so gorgeous.
I think those were done from here. I think
So it's really hard to do any kind of shopping here because every 2 feet I want to stop and start touching things, and then I'm checking prices because I just want to buy everything in the store. And this is only the first fabric store I've gone to since we got to New York. The other store was Notions. This is the first fabric, and I'm already buying a lot. So I'm going to slow down and pace myself, and we'll move on to the next store. But Mood is truly fabulous. If you are in New York, it is definitely worth a 2 to 3 hour stop. Bring people with you who love fabric, and you won't regret it. These are printed voiles. You can see how sheer they are. Really, really beautiful. This is another one I like over here that's more floral. These are the kind of fabric that you would use to make caftans with, or lightweight pants, summer wear, any kind of easy, comfy kind of loose clothing. You can see how there's so much of it. It's like everywhere, and it's all beautiful and brightly colored. Oh, this one has camels on it. Very cute. There are literally fabric stores everywhere in the garment district. It's just incredible. We're heading over to B&J now. We stepped off the elevator to these cute little dress forms with fabric on them, and we have arrived at B&J Fabrics. This is a completely different shopping experience. All of the fabrics are in 1-yard cuts, hanging on tiny coat hangers on racks and racks, and this is all in, I don't know, a quarter of a floor, so it's sort of organized, but it's hard to find stuff. So I'm gonna browse and see what I can find and then have it cut. I'm sitting on a couch waiting at the end of the cutting tables for my fabric to be brought to me. This is kind of an overview of the store. You can see all the aisles. They have a whole bunch of cutting tables and various staff members to cut what you want while you wait, and then they bring it to you. So definitely not as much fun as Mood. We are going to pop into Pacific Trimming really quickly to see if I can find some buttons and a buckle to match some of the fabric I got at Mood. This is one of the other fabric stores we've walked by a couple of times. They have some very fancy, sparkly evening fabrics, feather boas. Apparently they've also got leather and fur and upholstery fabrics. So just an example, one of the shops. This one is really spectacular. It has all sorts of trims, feathers galore. If you need to make a showgirl headdress, this is the place to come. And then they have all of these beaded appliques and beaded fringe costumes, all sorts of incredible things. It's just really remarkable to see shops like one after the other with like everything you could possibly want for anything you could come up with in a design. And then this is just a button shop and patches, and it's got snaps, buckles, all kinds of stuff. I really wish we would have had more time to be able to go into more shops, but we are here with Dan's sister, and we do have to get back home before traffic gets crazy. As we leave the garment district, we had a quick stop by the giant needle and button sculpture, as well as the garment worker statue. It's been fun, New York. I can't wait to come back. Hey, sewers. I'm coming to you from my friend's living room in Long Island, New York, and I'm so excited to show you everything that I got on my New York City fabric haul. So the first shop I went to was East Coast Trimming, and as I mentioned while I was there, I did not have any plans for trim, so I did not buy any trim, but it was super cool to see everything they had and to share it with you. One thing I did pick up was one of those little bug pins that I pointed out to you. I spoke to the owner, Donna, and she said that they specifically designed them and had them made for the shop, so they are one of a kind. And I just had to bring this little guy home with me. I think he'll look great on the lapel of one of my jackets. Now, I don't have any immediate plans for trim, but I might in the future, so I will definitely be visiting their website. I will leave a link in the description below so you can go check it out too. Next shop that we went to was Mood, which was everything I absolutely thought it would be and so much more. I truly lived out my Project Runway fantasies, and I can only hope to go back again in the future and spend a lot more time there. So without further ado, let's get to the fabrics I bought at Mood. First off, I have this really brightly colored cotton raincoat material. Now, I've been wanting to make a raincoat. I do have a pattern for a traditional kind of trench. I'm gonna make it in the knee-length version, and this fabric is just perfect. It's one of those kind of hard to find fabrics, so it was on my list for New York because this is not easy to find down in Texas. and it's 100% cotton. It is treated with a water resistant kind of coating, so it kind of feels a little plasticky. It has kind of a waxy exterior, but it was these gorgeous brightly colored designs, and I just couldn't resist it. It's everything I love in a print. On the reverse side, it is smooth. It just feels like a polished kind of cotton. And I'm hoping that because it is cotton, it will breathe a little bit better than a 100% synthetic fabric like nylon or PVC. So fingers crossed, this is a little bit cooler than other options that I have. Next up are the linen fabrics that I bought. And this is the one I ended up going with. It is a super brightly colored, fruity, tropical print with this kind of grid and square pattern in the background. I absolutely love this fabric. It's very sheer, but it is linen. It's a very fine weave, and I was very excited to find it. It's perfect for the wrap skirt pattern that I've got, and I just think it's gonna be so much fun for summer. Now, for those of you outside of Texas, it's still gonna be summer in Texas until the end of September, possibly mid-October. So I will have time to make and wear this, which I'm also very excited about. And the pattern I have has a contrasting pattern that goes with it. And I was super excited when I found this linen viscose blend. Remember, viscose is the European word for rayon. And yes, it is striped, but it matches perfectly. So let's see if I can get this lined up so you can see it. Okay, so we've got this kind of periwinkle color and this lilac color, and they both match perfectly. It may not look that way in this light, but they do. It's gonna look great together, and I'm super excited about that. And the weights of the fabric are very similar. Initially, I was gonna go with a solid color, which would have been a little bit more tame, but the weights were too heavy in the solid linen. It was only in these lighter weight stripes and prints that I could get the right weight combination so that the skirt would hang properly. And this is something that will be coming up soon. Jen and I are going to do a sew along with this pattern and a pattern review, so stay tuned because you will see these fabrics in action. Can you guess which wool fabric I picked out to make my cape coat with? Don't know? All right, I'll show you. It's this gorgeous fuchsia and plum herringbone weave. I absolutely fell in love with this. I did find it after I spotted the other two, and even though it cost $40 a yard, it had to come home with me. I was looking for something really special to make that cape coat with. If you don't remember what the pattern looks like, here it is. And I just absolutely fell in love with this. I know it was more than I wanted to spend, but it's the kind of cape coat that I will definitely wear for years to come. It is a very classic silhouette, and I absolutely love these colors. So it is a herringbone. That means that there are two different yarns. There is the plum yarn, and then there's the fuchsia yarn, and they're woven to make these herringbone points. And I just loved it. And I think it's gonna look fantastic in the shorter version of that cape. And I'm gonna get some really cool buttons for the belt, but I did not have a chance to find them, so we'll have to look online. But this is just what I got. It is a really nice weight. It's not super heavy. It's kind of a medium weight wool. It's made in Italy, and I'm looking forward to sewing this once it gets a little bit cooler in Texas, so maybe sometime in November or December, and we'll show you how that goes. The last fabric I bought at Mood was down on the bottom floor, or I don't know, probably wouldn't have been the bottom floor. It might have been like one floor down from the third floor or two floors down. It's hard to keep track of everything, but it's this gorgeous Pierre Cardin cotton sateen fabric. It is a beautiful weight. It has a really nice drape to it, so you can see that. It's this gorgeous kind of tropical print. This was one of the fabrics that was standing on in, and Holly was behind me and she was oohing and eyeing over it. We actually both love the same print. And funny story, Holly actually met Pierre Cardin in the south of France when he was celebrating his birthday, and he invited the entire town, including all the guests at the hotel, to celebrate with him. So that was a very cool story that she shared. And I was planning on on making a dress with this. I bought 3 yards. The very helpful sales associate told me that should be enough for a dress, and I don't have any particular pattern in mind. So if you know of one that would look really good with this dress, let me know. Leave it in the comments below. And if you think I should make something other than a dress, let me know that too. Always looking for a good idea, and I do have 3 yards. So I've got some to play with. I think it's 60 inches wide. Yes, I think that's about 60 inches wide. So we should have plenty to work with. From the video, you probably guessed that B&J Fabrics was not as much fun as Mood. It just wasn't. It was a completely different setup, and the employees were all business. They were not chit-chatty, and they were not super helpful. I actually walked in and wasn't sure what to do, and someone finally asked if we needed help, and then said I should just pick some fabrics and then find someone to cut the yardage I need. And I initially went because I was looking for some cork for Anna, and she is making some bags. So I wanted to get her a little thank you gift for watching my pets while I was out of town. And I got this gorgeous, very, very thin rose gold cork. And she wanted some of that to make a tote bag with, and so I thought I'd surprise her with this. And it is really beautiful, and B&J Fabrics was one of the few places that had this lightweight cork on their website, which is why I chose to go there. Now, while I was waiting for my fabric to be cut, the saleswoman who was helping me came back and told me that only one of the 3 fabrics was available in a 2-yard cut. The other 2 pieces were less, and that wasn't going to be enough for what I needed. So I only ended up getting 1 fabric other than the cork at B&J. And it's this really pretty tropical purple and blue-green print. It is 97% cotton and 3% spandex, so there is some stretch to it. It's a sateen weave, so it is nice and soft. It kind of has a little bit of a shine to it, so it looks a little bit dressy. And this is a digital print, which I thought was also really cool. The other 2 fabrics that I wanted were very similar to this one. I thought they would make some great skirts to pair with a black jacket. Unfortunately, they did not have enough. So I've got 2 yards of this, and I'm probably gonna make a skirt. It might be more than I need, so I might end up making a jacket or something else, and we shall see. If you have a preference, let me know in the comments below. So on my way to meet Holly at the car, Dan and I popped into Pacific Trimmings to find some buttons to go with this fabric. Now, I did find these really pretty purple buttons that do match perfectly, so I was super excited about that. I did need 11 of them, so I have my little baggie of buttons. And then this pattern also called for a buckle for a self belt, and I didn't remember what size I need. I didn't write it down, so I got 2 different ones. These are black. I did not see any purple ones because we were in quite a rush, but I was really excited about Pacific Trimmings. They had a lot of stuff. It was not quite enough time to browse the way I would have liked to because we weren't in a time crunch at that point. But I think that those buttons will look great. And I might get on their website and see if I can find a belt buckle in the same color. If not, I will use one of the black ones. So what did you think? Which store would you have liked to spend the most time in? The trims were fantastic, but I think Mood really has a special place in my heart. Now, when I go back, hopefully we'll have a full day to go fabric shopping and notion shopping, and I will have a list with everything I need, and I'll be prepared to really hit everything hard. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to click like and subscribe to my channel so you never miss a stitch. And let me know what you think and which stores you liked best, which fabrics you like best, and I will leave links to the various stores in the description below so you can check them out online. Until we meet again, happy sewing! Don't go! There's another great video coming up next. You're definitely going to want to watch this one.